What is going on, everybody? I hope I'm coming in loud and clear. Just want to make a few connections. And give me a second here. See if we can get anybody into this chat. Okay. So it says 0 people are in my chat, but I'm glad that we have people talking to me here. Okay. So an update. So it looks like the government will shut down. Right. I believe there's an hour or something left, but the budget bill did not pass. So let's see what's going on. So it didn't pass, and they're saying about an hour and 15 minutes until the government shutdown. And the reason we know this is going to happen, and we knew this was going to happen, I think, since December 18th. I'll just show you why. So when you just go type it in, and I believe he did it with all caps lock on December 18th. So when we go to this this little segment right here, this crumb, what we see is he gives us a couple markers, and now this is put upside down, or you get what I'm saying, from top to bottom, bottom to top. You got to switch it around. So when we go to Q POTUS 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, near the 4, he lets us know that was the 10 marker. So when we saw the 10 marker, we got a 15 marker before that. That was probably Q POTUS 5. Then we got the 10 marker. So we can go correlate it to the day, right? The 10 marker. But after that, we got a 5 marker. We got a 1 marker at Q POTUS 2. Then we got the 0 marker at Q POTUS 1. And we saw the 0 marker a couple days ago. I hope you guys remember that. You can go back in the videos, just go back through the Q posts. And then he says shutdown, right? So he already knew this was going to happen. He was giving us the markers, and he knew this was coming. The shutdown was coming. All right, and that was on December 18th. And I just wanted to point that out. So I believe that is going to happen. I know they're saying it's still an hour, but it sounds like it's done for. All right. Let me go see if there's any more Q posts. And then I'll just show you the few tabs I have up. And I don't think there's any more Q posts, okay? Maybe he'll reach out to us a little later tonight. That's what he seems to do. Last night was odd. It was very late at night. Okay. And I know with the shutdown being put into place, and I know it was predicted and whatnot, but beyond that, it's Q speaks of 3 missing things, like 3 missing details already put in, which are part of the plan, because they knew this was coming, and that's going to help the situation out, and I believe more so with the military. And one of them was an executive order. All right, so no more Q posts so far. This is what I showed you guys the relation. I want to just go into a few videos to show you the severity of what's coming up.
Sean, it represents a profound corruption of the rule of law in our country. You know, we talk about the Constitution being a sacred document. That includes the 4th Amendment. And really tonight, I'm disgusted. It's horrible. People that you and I are friends with in Congress, who we know and trust, who have seen these documents, have said it's horrific, it's horrible, heads should roll. Our justice system has completely been inverted by this process. And I agree with you now that this investigation needs to end. These people must be investigated, meaning top officials at Justice and the FBI. And whether Jeff Sessions recused himself from the investigation, they all work for him now. He's seen the text.
That's
He's
correct.
seen the memos, and he is the man who is in charge of bringing these people in. And if it's found of wrongdoing, they need to be indicted, convicted, and incarcerated.
So we know this memo is going to come out. I'm wondering if it goes beyond what we're all thinking, right? And we all know what's going on. They pretty much spied on him. They spied on everybody close to him. They were trying to figure out what's going on. This was towards political gain. This was the complete political motive, political intent. It's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy fact, right? And yeah, so that was Pam Bondi. Okay, I just want to do a few more. Heads will be rolling. Let's see what Graham says.
I think the real world needs to deal with the 800,000 DACA recipients and the overwhelming need to rebuild our military and increase funding is going to get us there within a month.
Is this the first time that you're feeling optimistic? First time today? First time
Now, this
in
is the
general?
first time I felt like, okay, enough is enough from everybody. The president is going to get, Graham Durbin's not going to be law. I think it was a good proposal. It can be made better. We're going to get, hopefully, more things for the president, and there'll be more relief coming on the other side. The idea of letting this continue to fester is unacceptable to most Americans, and I think now to the Congress as a whole. March 5th is the drop-dead date for 800,000 people who voluntarily came out of the shadows to pass a criminal background check. I don't think anybody wants to ruin their lives.
You heard that, right? So the date is March 5th, March 8th. What did you just say? I heard that. I'm sorry. That doesn't make me look good. But you know what I'm saying. It's not today. And they want to play games, and we know that Trump and Sessions pretty much know a lot more, and all that stuff's going to come out, all pedophilia, all cult stuff, which does run in through some of these people and their bloodlines. But just think about this, guys. Everything that happened, right? So we have pretty much a police state put in place by Obama to monitor an incoming innocent civilian, right, running as just to be president. And in the end, they pretty much make up a conspiracy theory, Russia collusion, and they start pushing it, right? Pretty much the crime that they've committed. And that's possibly some of the works of Saul Alinsky. But what I'm getting at is, forget those crimes, which are just being, lights being shed on them right now. Why did they do that? Right? They did that. They couldn't have Trump. They couldn't lose control. They could not have anybody else besides who's in their clique, in their cult, in their conspiracy, be president, because what is happening would happen. But what is it they were hiding, right? It was more of like a globalist Illuminati vision, more population control, possibly a nuclear American Holocaust. We know things are staged. We're led into that, right? But the question is, what are they hiding? What is going on? Servers in North Korea, Intel going there, uranium, the Iran deal, the Iwan brothers, everything's tied in, everything's interrelated, right? Interconnected. It's scary. We were about to head into something, I believe one accused old post talks about. If Trump did not win, what they were ready to do with patriots who knew what was going on would have been incredible if Hillary Clinton actually got into office. So just think about that. If she won, which they unrigged it, they knew what was about to come. So we have a lot of deep secrets that have been hidden, and they're being hidden for a reason. We're just shedding light onto why these people committed these crimes to make it so that they would elect who they wanted to be in office, right? But the people in office right now with intelligence agencies now also have the dirt on why they were doing that and what was really going on, and I think they already knew that, and that's why they told Trump to run. Just wanted to get that out there. Let's see what else we have. It's gonna be a short segment today. Oh, this guy lost it again, guys. Cory Booker. Let's just take a listen. So we were told to listen for the people who become the loudest in Washington. Who are the loudest in Washington? He's definitely one of them, right? Besides everybody else, but he's a new one he's become real loud.
About the definition of that word love. Because we all know what love is. Love is about sacrifice. Love is about service. Love is about putting other people's interests and well-being over your own. Love doesn't build walls. Love tears them down. Dreamers are Americans. They know no other country. They have come here not on their own volition. They have stood here and worked here and served here and loved their country here. They teach in our schools, they serve in our hospitals, they're our first responders, they serve in our military. These are our fellow Americans. And we are a nation that should leave no American behind. And so I stand here tonight to say, I will not, as a United States Senator, leave my fellow American behind.
We need to look into what's going on with him, if he has any laundering schemes. Okay, because he's getting way too loud, huh? And he knows none of this is true. He knows Trump's not racist, right? I'm done with this guy, alright? He's starting to actually get on my nerves a little bit.
You know, it sounds pretty troubling to me.
You have heard what's in it. What do you make of it?
You know, it sounds pretty troubling to me. Obviously, this has been a witch hunt, probably the greatest since the Salem witch trials. The interesting thing about it is the only collusion, the only shadiness, the only thing that's been discovered is what the prior administration, the DNC, and all of them have done. The irony of all of this is if Republicans conducted themselves the way I've seen the Democrats conduct themselves, we'd be reading about this on every page of every newspaper and every TV channel in the world right now. We're a little bit more honorable than them, but it really sounds disturbing. And, you know, I don't know what to do with it because I don't know what's in it, but if all of these guys are saying people's heads are going to roll, people are going to get fired, and people may actually go to jail, I think the American people deserve to know. They've been led down a road to believe X. They've been sold a bill of goods about us, about our campaign from 18 months. The media totally complicit in helping the Dems do this. And the only thing we've discovered, it was actually them.
He laid it on there pretty harsh. Well said. Let's see what else. Okay, let's take a listen to this. And all this is just the surface, right? We're just skimming the surface. We're about to jump in, and it's going to be so deep, guys, and it's going to get so weird. Scary weird. But the thing is, we're all safe, right? Better than heading down the other direction where Hillary's kind of for that, and she was part of it, and she was sucked into all that, and, you know, we were, as a nation, about to go down, right? And we were seeing it happen in front of our eyes, but we couldn't do anything.
The documents, the Wall Street Journal tonight in an editorial. They're demanding the same thing. Congressman Jordan, we deserve to see this. You agree with that? And how soon will we be able to get our eyes on these documents?
Great question, Sean. Here's the process. Chairman Nunes in the Intelligence Committee in the House, he can bring the committee back together. They can have a vote. If a majority of the committee votes to release these documents, the executive branch gets a certain amount of time to review them. If the executive branch gives the thumbs up, they go public. So this could happen real quick. Chairman Nunes is committed to getting this information
Not
to
one
the public.
Democrat
He's
wanted
willing-
you to see it.
Well, no, they did it, but after you read it and you see, and if they're playing partisan politics, you can see why they didn't want us to see that, and you can see why they won't want the American people. But as Matt Gaetz said, as Sarah said, this is something that needs to be out. So this should never happen in a country as great as the United States of America, and we need every single American take a look at this and see what exactly their government did, their law enforcement division did. This is that kind of information, and it needs to be public as soon as possible.
Well, it sounds to me like a lot of people, Congressman Gaetz, need to be fired and investigated. Is that
Yeah, that's right. I think that this will not end just with firings. I believe there are people who will go to jail. I was very persuaded by the evidence, and it also became clear to me why Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham felt it so important to refer this matter for criminal prosecution. You don't get to try to undermine our country, undermine our elections, and then simply get fired. So I think there will be criminal implications here, and we have to underscore the point that you and Jim Jordan just made. Every single Democrat on the Intelligence Committee voted against even allowing other members of Congress to see this information. So you know they're going to fight against release to the American people. What are the Democrats so afraid of? Why don't they want the American people to know the truth about what was going on with the government, how that impacted the president, his transition, his campaign? And it just seems interesting to me that Democrats don't want us to know what the entire basis was in the first place for the Mueller probe. They want to drag this out through the midterm elections to try to embarrass this president and distract this Congress from the critical work we've got to do to save this great country. Let's release the documents.
Any details, do you conclude that Mueller, the whole issue of Trump-Russia collusion, never should have come up? Does Mueller need to disband? And does he need to
This was a lie built on corruption, built on a sham. The entire investigation is a fiction. It's a fallacy. And when the American people see how this began, when the American people see how different people interacted with one another, how organizations were infected and infiltrated and subjected to tremendous bias of individuals, and how that really played out, I think that every American will understand how absolutely ludicrous it is that we continue to allow the Mueller probe to go forward. It needs to end because the entire basis is a lie.
I know from my sources, Sarah, that they're saying this should result in the immediate firing of Lisa Page, of Peter Strzok, of Bruce Orr, also Andrew McCabe. I have some questions. Where does Rod Rosenstein stick in this?
So, yeah, guys, things are unwinding. Excuse me. I have a few more tabs up. As we can see, I believe the government will shut down. We'll check right before we sign out here. We were told by Q that was going to happen. We were told by Q back on December 18th that was going to happen. Okay. He's given us markers along the way to prove that he's there, primarily and secondarily. He's let us in on situations where he's predicted the false flag by the Bangladeshi in New York and timestamp proven right before the news actually comes out, before anything actually happens, before the false flag occurs. On top of that, he lets us know about the false alert, the false non-nuclear DEFCON 1, which gets confirmed, right? And then intersparingly, he has a whole bunch of tweets that are confirmed with posts on the chans by Q, right? To let you know secondarily, hey, we're still here, we're still talking to you, this is not a LARP. Okay. Let's keep going. So things are getting heated. Heads will roll. A lot of people are going to be going to jail. The reason I say that it's scary, I know somebody put that in the chat, is because, like I was saying, they're hiding something, right? All this happened for a reason. It's going to be hard to just come out, throw it all out there. If you go look at some of the other videos I've done, you'll see that it goes into the Democratic Party, some of them worshiping, and just going back to it, part of the cult, part of the bloodlines, and they're involved in pedophilia, child trafficking, deep state operations to feed the eye, and engage in being a part of that. And that's kind of delved and seeped into many of our institutions and caused corruption throughout, including Hollywood, which is a sponsor, including our media, which is a tactic and a sponsor, to manipulate and brainwash the masses. So let's take a listen to Shaptaz. I hope I'm saying that right. You know, there's other stuff going on with him too. He's a good guy. If you research his wife, excuse me, at one point, Q alluded to the fact that the wives also need to be followed and they're possibly more evil. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but going through, like looking at Adam Schiff's wife, his wife, Shaftaz's wife, you know, things were going on. They were all part of the cult, sick cult, and yeah. So let's see what he has to say. All right.
To Trey Gowdy and Jim Jordan, and you said this, since you have a cold, it's okay to release that memo, hashtag release the memo. Jason obviously referring to Dianne Feinstein and her release of the entire testimony of GPS, Fusion GPS. So I would say, first of all, that was a very clever tweet, and it's also one that I hope excites the imagination of somebody who can get their hands on that 4 pages.
Well, look, it's only 4 pages. Every member of the House on both sides of the aisle, they have a security clearance. They ought to go in and read it. And then there'll come a point where I think Devin Nunes can call for a vote to have it released. What I told, having not heard it or seen any of the details within it, is that there is classified information in there. And so you have to be very careful on how you do that. But I think the spirit of openness and transparency and something that is obviously wrong, because you see people on camera who've read it and they're like visibly disturbed by it. I mean, I saw the reaction from Mark Meadows and Brad Winstrup and others. And these are, you know, seasoned people who see a lot of stuff. And they're very shaken by it. And, you know, talking to Trey Gowdy and others, I got to tell you, it's something that we need to know about. And the other question that I don't hear anybody asking is, what is the Department of Justice and the Attorney General doing about it? You don't need a House panel to uncover this. We know there's an Inspector General report. That'll be pivotal. But what is the Attorney General himself doing? Because they can't just walk away from it.
Okay. So that was Shaftaz. And I have one more.
Corruption inside the Obama administration, 4-page memo laying out evidence of what's called FISA abuse by the Obama administration. Congressman Mark Meadows said it was so shocking he wishes he had not read it because he could not believe it happened in this country. Congressman Scott Perry says he literally wondered if this happened in America or, as I noted a moment ago, in the Soviet Union. Pressure building tonight for that memo to be made public. You noted it. The hashtag release the memo trending on social media. Obama officials using unverified information from that dossier, and other top justice officials like Rod Rosenstein may lose their jobs for letting that info be used to get FISA warrants.
Any American that would see this document would feel as though people like Rod Rosenstein and Bruce Orr need to be fired immediately, and that their continued activity at the Department of Justice is a threat to the country.
It's a threat to the country. So here we go, okay? And we know the government's going to shut down, right? I believe it is going to shut down. It's going to happen pretty soon here. And once again, that was predicted by Q. And we can go back and see when he says that. And we can go through at some point if you want to go through the markers and get down and dirty with this stuff, okay? But looking back the other way, we see it head down. This would be the 15 marker, the 10, the 5, the 1, the 0 marker that he gave us, and this is through tweets, right, and other things. And then the shutdown's going to come. He says learn double meanings before that, and you have to go back up the other way. Just to point that out again. All right, let's see what else we have. Just a few more thoughts, a couple more tabs I ran into. Let's tab out. Has anyone considered that there's going to be another fake incoming ballistic missile? And I guess he said that because of one of Q's posts. So let's go back and see why he would say that, right? Did Q say that? he predicts, he knows about like the Gannett and the Mockingbird media, and when they get their clockwork narrative from pretty much higher companies that they all log in, right? But let's go back. I think there was something I remember too where it was something to keep an eye on. Building the army. So remember this day was huge. Okay, bear with me. On Monday, I wonder if it's all next Monday, huh? We know next Monday, next week is going to be huge, right, guys? It's going to be amazing. I was trying to find a spot where, or something he said that would possibly hint at another ballistic missile or something else that's going to come in and be thwarted. And who knows what was happening with CNBC at the Newark airport trying to take a fake bomb in, a fake. Who knows if it was fake, if they made it fake by actually thwarting it and making it a fake bomb, just like that other guy in New York City. They knew about it. They're taking these people down, these deep state actors who are committing these crimes to pretty much change and then take control of the narrative again, right? And it's a really hard narrative to bring out the other way from the other side because everything's being pushed as a conspiracy. We saw today, while things were hashtag being great on Twitter, we saw it blamed on Russian bots, right? Come on, give me a break. Russian WikiLeaks bots working to release the memo as you see humans in front of you. And what the hell is going on with Cory Booker? I just want to go back where they all go off this thing with the shithole gate, right? And Trump and did he say it or not? A bunch of people who were very credible said that, even though there can be harsh words, and we all know how people talk, all right, even when deals have to get done. And it's not like all these people are innocent. They do the same thing, right? They're trying to pick at something. And there was a lot more sources saying, hey, you know what? He didn't even say shithole. You shithole. Like, he didn't even say it. But then when the Department of Homeland Secretary or whatever, she's in front of him or whatnot, and it gets heated, right? And you wonder, this person hasn't denied that he said that, but she said that she's just like, she didn't fully deny it. She just says that she doesn't remember him saying it, right? And he flips out like, oh, like this one source has said, oh, how can you not remember something like that? It's like, shut the hell up, man. Take it easy. All right, let's see what else I have up. So let's go through this. Remember this day. And somebody put here, we will not forget. This is what we've been waiting for. Not just since November, but our whole lives. And a lot of us are, we know what's going on. But if you look at the date again, a couple of people have pointed it out. He says, remember this day. And there's probably multiple meanings here too. But 119, it would be 9/11, right? Why are we here? Why are we providing crumbs? Think memo, the storm that will bring reckoning to the lawless cabal, building the army, patriotic Americans. Not convinced this is spreading? Well, we worked hard and believe. Okay, you the people have the power. You the people just forgot how to play. We're learning now. Together you are strong. Apart you are weak. Okay? They're trying to divide us. We gotta learn. We gotta progress together. Alright. Just wanted to go through that. I had that up. We went through this. Didn't find what I was thinking about. Let's see what this says. Operation Mockingbird sends out information for the day at 4 o'clock. Like clockwork, 4 a.m. We need to find out who sends this, like CIA is involved, deep state actors involved. When does a bird sing? May not relate to a person, but to Operation Mockingbird agenda, right? Double meanings. So this is more Q research. So this was a David Rothschild tweet. And he's supporting this Natasha Bert Hart tweet which says, new Russia-linked Twitter accounts are working overtime to help Devin Nunes and WikiLeaks, with hashtag release the memos dominating their hashtags and a link to WikiLeaks submit page among their, right, and I don't have it expanded out. But Republican Congressman Nunes obviously coordinating with Russians to affect American public opinion. These people are stupid, guys. They're going down. The world is waking up, figuring out that they were part of like the bloodlines, the elite people who pretty much were leading this fake reality to some, like, just entrap and enslave human beings and them prosper from it. And they had plans, evil plans going forward, and they have ways of increasing their wealth and getting more money besides owning pretty much every bank and Federal Reserve, right? Okay. A few more. So, this is pretty important. Schumer's probably screwed. Alright, we don't know what how deep Schumer's case file goes, but he met with Trump today. Q even mentioned that on the way out he had to stop at the bathroom, assuming that he had shift off in the bathroom, okay? After swarding himself. Alright? But Chuck Schumer will live in fear from today forward. Thank you for visiting the White House. So something was shown to him. They know something about him. He's not an innocent dude. We know he was involved with all this stuff going back even to Loop Capital. He could possibly be part of the pedo group. Okay? I'm just making observations. These things are unfolding. Let's all come together and figure this stuff out. Spread this information. Subscribe, like, spread the information. Alright? Just spread the information. Let's all determine things. Let's all ask questions, just like Q is, and determine what the hell is really going on. And honestly, the picture painted so far is pretty accurate, and damn, it's one of the best pictures I've freaking ever seen, and it's all true. And all the truth is from us doing the research, and we do more research, and we're just guided in a way, right? So he has to use the bathroom prior to leaving. Q. Boom, Chuck Schumer. Shift off, man. So this was intriguing, at least. All right. So somebody went back to a 1943 movie, Forgotten Country, and it relates to Forgotten Country. Learn, stay strong, stay together, fight, fight, fight. This is more important than you can imagine. A Q post, right? And if you think about the story of U.S. Army chaplain service as dramatized in the stories of three chaplains. Father Michael O'Keefe, that could be James O'Keefe. Please visit the Project Veritas site. Check out what happened with Twitter, all the dick pics, the weird stuff. There's probably people on there who are pretty young, right? What's the age limit to sign up? And then they're probably sending the most pictures because they don't know what's going on and they can't even like imagine the world that we're living in, right? Another one on here is Arnold Miller. That could be Stephen Miller. Hard Knocks. He supports Trump. He knows what's going on. He knows what he's talking about. He gets out there. He lays it out there like it's supposed to be laid out there. And he even goes to the media. He knows the big picture. The big picture, the full picture, lays in the hands of, you can count it on the hands of only two fists, right? It's not 10 people, but it's not less than 5 because it's not one hand. All right? And those are the number of people who are involved in this Q clearance Q group who are with the Trump administration helping us paint the picture and taking the war to the info wars that are needed through the other side of the battle. Okay? So that was interesting. And then Chelsea Manning, right? Okay. Almost done here. Any insight in the fake news awards? We went through this, but hard to believe the president would have to reschedule. So this is the one thing I wanted to go through, or just mention. So going back to a Q post about the 10 Days of Darkness. So let me see if I could pull it up. Is it on here? I wonder if it's right on here. Darkness, right? And then we're going to have darkness. So the shutdown comes, then we have darkness. So we go into the 10 days of darkness tonight, guys, after the shutdown. And after the 10 days, guess what? It's the State of the Union, right? Where the light of God and good spirit, good versus evil, it's a showdown. Things are going to be revealed. I wonder what happens in these darkness days. I was always wondering, when do the 10 days of darkness show up, you know? There's so much thought about it back and forth and so much debate. Let's see. So there was a point he did say the clock has already started, right? But I don't think it was the clocks. I don't know. I'll have to go back into the other file I have to see it. I don't know how to work this one. But I still have a feeling that we're in the midst, after the government shutdown, 10 days of darkness. We end up at the State of the Union. Timing is essential per Q. Oh, this was the thing. So here it was. So January 19th, when we're looking at Q. So to this person's post on the chan. So an anonymous post was that our war games get us meme troops and live fire drill, right? And Q replies, again, he says, shall we play a game? How about a nice game of chess? War games? Double meaning. Classified 5849. And this was the part where it was like a fake incoming missile alert, DEFCON 1, right? So he's telling us, is there another fake incoming missile alert? Are we going to see something happen soon? All right, that's going to be another. Is that the false flag we've been waiting on? CNBC tried another false flag, right? I believe that was thwarted. It was made into a false flag. Okay, we know all trust. So this was the point I wanted to bring up, guys. Okay, so let's see how that works out, all right? Few more things. So this was ironic, if that's the proper way to describe it. So the NSA deleted surveillance data it pledged to preserve. The agency tells a federal judge that it's investigating and sincerely regrets its failure. The National Security Agency destroyed surveillance data it pledged to preserve in connection with pending lawsuits, and apparently never took some of the steps it told a federal court it had taken to make sure the information wasn't destroyed, according to recent court filings. Okay, I'll post that up for people. The others were all images. This is weird. Okay, this is all a gimmick. I don't know what's going on. It's all just Hillary Clinton. We don't even know where she is, right? Some people think she's in Hawaii. We know she's detained but not arrested. They're all being monitored. Even if they don't have bracelets on them, we see and hear everybody. They pretty much have FISA warrants used now against them because they're foreign actors committing treason. Okay, so now it's actually an appropriate time to use FISA too. And it can be properly regulated with warrants, right? If you just put a warrant on there, it'd make it more secure for you to get it. Alright, so Newsweek claims that Hillary Clinton could still become president. So Harvard law professor Lawrence Lessig has claimed that if the investigation into Russian meddling, they're still on Russia, guys, in the 2016 presidential election finds evidence of a conspiracy, Hillary Clinton could still end up being president. Lessig's claims were credulously passed on by Newsweek, which was recently raided by the NYPD for pedo servers, in an actual news, not opinion article titled, Hillary Clinton could still become president if Russia probe finds conspiracy evidence. According to Lessig, the scenario would begin with the finding of conspiracy by Special Counsel Robert Mueller, a fake conspiracy, followed by the simultaneous impeachment and removal from office of both President Donald Trump and VP Mike Pence. If all of this happened, House Speaker Paul Ryan would become president, and then, according to Lessig, Ryan should do the right thing and nominate Hillary Clinton to be vice president, then step aside and let her assume the presidency. Okay, guys, these people have lost their mind. Hillary Clinton You are evil. You are outed. Nobody's holding back anymore. You're in trouble. You're going to be arrested. Your passport is pretty much watched. They're seeing where you go. All of you guys are trying to leave and run away from the country. You're not leaving Hawaii. Did you get to Hawaii? Are you trying to take a sub out? What's going on? What's going on with Hunter Red October? I believe we're in the 10 days of darkness, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to True Lies. Subscribe, like, stay tuned. Take the alerts. I'll bring you Q posts as they come. We'll interpret them live. We'll go back through, do our research, figure out what they really mean, add things up when it comes back up, right? We know, we've looked at some of these pictures. I wonder if this is photoshopped, but Rothschild, Soros, Du Bois, Obama, the Pope, with the Rockefellers, Rothschild, McCain with Soros, right? Rod Rosenstein screwed. Sessions we need to trust in. This is beautiful. The clowns keep trying. Possible incoming ballistic missile fake alert. Keep your eye out for that. There's possibly more false flags, but we know they're being thwarted. These people's support is running out. It is amazing what's happening. Go into this list again. The JB could be John Brennan. It could be Joe Biden. Somebody was saying a couple other things too. We're all going to find out what this all is. Monday will be the memo. I also want to point out that we do still have the Inspector General. So the Office of the Inspector General still needs to release their report. Okay? We don't know when that's upcoming, how that's going to be released. But this is going to be an awesome week. And about Wednesday night, I know we were still like on the verge of hey, are we gonna have a fake news awards? What is the fake news awards? Why did he delay it for like a whole 1 week, 2 weeks, right? James Clapper, yeah, somebody was saying JC, James Clapper, James Comey. Now I lost my thought the other way, but yeah. So Wednesday, nothing. Then the fake news awards hit. Then start Thursday, and it was like, holy shit. Everybody started doubting it. This is supposed to be a bigger week, and nothing's happening. And bam, you just saw what happened last week, which is this week, right? And next week is supposed to be the biggest. The government will be shut down. The 10 days of darkness is here. Let's look for more clues. Let's see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated if anything changes. Once again, spread the information, and we'll see what happens at the State of the Union. I think it's going to be pretty amazing. I think this is a time that everybody learns the truth about everything. All truths are revealed. No more silence. We know what's happened in this country for a long time through a couple presidencies, I believe 4. Possibly 1 or 2 good guys. If they don't like them, they try to take them out. Everybody was blackmailed. We have agents deep within our government. They're still there. They're embedded in. And this is a time for a deep cleansing. All right, Eric Schmidt, what are you doing in North Korea? Google, a private server, SpaceX, Elon Musk. What happened? Are you a patriot? You were taking our money to build your company? Is that the truth? Why don't you come out and speak to us, man? Instead of everybody just being on Twitter. Where are you guys, alright? Why are there so many rockets and secret space shit going off, alright? All these secret private email servers, all this intel being leaked, the Yvonne brothers, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. It's sick. I think I kind of get the bigger picture, but, things need to be filled up, like what's going on with all these pedo networks, with all this child trafficking, with all these cults. And once that's revealed, we can have a brighter future, right? The light will shine brighter, and we will all be able to move on and do good for humanity, do good for people, have things that work, have things that are more fair, a system that's more fair. Alright, so I'm glad to bring you this information. It doesn't look like Q has posted in the meantime. Okay. And Yeah, I know, but hey, lighten up. I know we've had the 10 days of darkness. I went back and I checked and he said the clock started, but there's something to it because he also has a reverse order into which after he has a point where he gives us the markers in the shutdown, he has darkness come. And if we had 10 days of darkness now, which goes into the government shutdown, like I know we might have had it, but maybe we have two 10-day markers of darkness because it heads straight into the State of the Union, you know. So that was my only thought on that. I'm not saying anything in terms of what's right or not. Just things that I'm assuming and just my perspective. All right, guys. So we will see you back. Keep your alerts on. I'll bring you stuff if Q pops up. All right, and God bless.